So the Slingshot, as you may know, is a tech revealed by GimR. Something like this, basically. It's a tech that, while you're dashing in one direction, makes you face the other direction. And while you jump like this, you can go forward. And one thing you can do with it is you can do an aerial, for example, and then you do a slingshot, and then you do that aerial again. For very, fast, like aerial spam and pressure. And this is what GimR hyped up the most when he was talking about the slingshot. The reveal for the slingshot had this as like the flagship thing the slingshot could do. After it came out, some of the initial reactions were that, like, isn't this just a RAR? Isn't this just an IRAR? And the truth is, it's nothing like those, because you can buffer it, you can full hop with it easily, it's immediately out of a dash. Like, there's a lot of good things about it compared to other methods of doing, like, the turnaround aerials. IRAR, for example, you have to do frame perfect input. It's easier than those methods in some respects, but those methods still have their own uses. But no one has really said a good alternative for doing the aggressive aerials thing that GimR was showing off. And the truth is, there is an alternative for this that actually isn't that hard to do. So something that some players might not be familiar with is that you can cancel your initial dash at most points with another dash. You can't cancel it into an attack, you have to wait for it to finish. You can't cancel it into shield, you can't cancel it into grab, it'll just do a dash grab. But you can cancel it usually with another dash. And this is how you do dash dancing in Ultimate. And so one thing you can do with this is, for example, you want to face to the right, and you're going to do an aerial, but you want to do it at a full dash speed without actually dashing forward too much like that. You don't want to go too forward. So what you can do is you can dash dance and then do your thing. Like, basically it's doing this, but way faster. So here's it in action. Notice how aggressive that looks. You can kind of fade it back, or do your dash dance a while after and not lose too much frames. So the difference that this has with Slingshot is that while it's occasionally much more aggressive and lets you go farther, with Slingshot, basically, you avoid this backdash animation that still has your back leg facing back, so you're still vulnerable. With this, that's kind of technically still there, but it's for a very short amount of time, like 1 or 2 frames if you do it fast enough. And for most uses of Slingshot, this is usually going to be the exact same case. Even if you buffer it, I don't think most people will buffer it that fast. Another criticism that people might have is that Slingshot works on Shotos. It's the only turnaround method that works on Shotos when you're trying to do aerials in a fast way. So maybe this doesn't work for Shotos, but the truth is, it actually does work on Shotos. You may notice it's kind of even crazier because Shotos have this 0 air drag thing going on, that it makes it much more aggressive. You also kind of end up in a position that people won't expect you to end up. With a Slingshot, your momentum will kind of sling, and people will be able to see where you're going, and it'll be much more reactable in that way. But this way, you're just kind of in their face immediately. You're in an area that they're not looking. So in my opinion, that's another advantage that this has over the Slingshot method. So this has been this Slingshot alternative method that I wanted to discuss. Hopefully it was useful. Hopefully you can find a use for it in your play. Thank you for watching.